I think he's been quite a bit delayed. First of all, because of a lot of the Zerglings. There's the Hydralisk done actually to transition more into a Hydra build here. I think he's been quite a bit delayed because, first of all those Zerglings he built right to at the very beginning, and that's basically Zerglings that weren't drones. And additionally, past that, yeah, maybe a little bit distracted just because he is playing JF and that Probe Scout is running around his base for absolutely ever. We should see a DT wandering out momentarily. Looks like some Mulisks running up, a lot of Mulisks running up with some Scourge alongside. Wants to try to end it. Looks like with Muta the Probe is going to in fact see it, but let's see. It looks like JF very light on cannons actually. He's got one cannon each base, and it looks like but 3-4 Corsairs overhead, so he's pretty well safe, and he should be able to defend this without too much trouble.
One of those High Templar wandering out into the middle of the field, going to get sniped off by the Mutalisks. Here come the Corsairs. They were just a little bit too late to save their buddy, but really one High Templar, not going to be too big of a deal just because Apoth is transitioning so late into Hydralisks. He's not going to need a High Templar right now because there's no Hydras pressuring him, but it all depends on where JF wants to take his third. If he wants to take a third outside of his mineral only, his main area, then he's going to need a lot of High Templar to defend against any kind of Hydra pushes. But if he's just going to take his mineral only, then he can easily just hold with a lot less High Templar, just mass up more Zealots, Dragoons, and then push out with a bigger ground army.
The other trick with that is those Mulisks did absolutely nothing. Looks like we have some drones that are bugged out here along that top transition line. And really, that was a huge investment to get basically 0 returns. They got 1 High Templar for all those Mutalisks. It looks like some Scourge coming up, looking to pick off some Corsairs, not able to do so. On top of that, JF has got a gigantic Corsair count. It's getting, as soon as he gets 2 more Corsair, it doesn't look like he's adding weapons 1, but 2 more Corsair in the mix, and he's going to be extremely dangerous. Already has that Dark Templar out in the mix. Doesn't look like he had it really in transition. It looks like it. I'm kind of curious what happened to it out in the field. Maybe it looks like he's just kind of keeping them back, but yeah, he's in a great position. Got a lot of his gateways down. Looks like he lost 1 Corsair there to some Scourge, but it's just absolutely neutralized the Mutalisk. That's going to delay any transition tech. Now we're seeing a lot of Hydralisks being pumped from Apoth, but honestly, I think JF's going to have a large enough force to just press against this, and a little bit reduced simply because he has been producing a lot of Corsair here, but with the transition attack, with basically a lot of troops attacking on the front door with those Corsairs in front, he's going to have a hard time with detection, and he's going to have a hard time just dealing with this army, period. Engaging right now with some Zealots, some Archons in the mix, and yeah, DTs with no detection overhead.
2 Overlords are coming up to try to spot for the Hydralisk, but Corsairs can easily just mass down, swoop out, and take out those Overlords. Here they come. They're coming down now. Going to take out those 2 Overlords. They can easily just go through the main, snipe Overlords all in the main, and you know, JF can easily sneak some Dark Templar in here if Apoth isn't careful.
Yeah, well, fortunately for him, at least it's kind of a blocked off front door. He's putting down some additional creep knowledge to do so, but this is going to open up JF to take an additional base, and he's continuing to raid the Overlord lines. And right now, the Hydralisk's not in position; they're a little bit slow. Even with that, I'm not sure if Overlord speed's actually in transition. I'm waiting to see when it hits an Overlord in here. Doing some nice micromanagement between these Corsairs and the Scourge, and that's the other thing is once you get this many Corsairs, they're pretty good about running in, just picking off the Scourge really before they can land any hits. Let's see if JF's able to do it again right here. Looks like he's backing off a little bit. I think he's accomplished what he wanted to, and if he moves out actually with the Zealots he has right now and the High Templar he has right now, he could probably end the game right this second. I think he's going to play a little bit more defensively. He's getting up that mineral only, and let's see if he decides to press out and take another base out in the field. It looks like he has stopped Corsair production for the time being, so at least a little bit of reprieve for Apoth. Apoth actually able to stop a probe that looks like it was going to try to take that 6 o'clock, so I think he got a little bit lucky there. And in some of his scouting, but right now Apoth a little bit behind.
I think he was just scouting.
You think he was just scouting?
Place to expand as a
yeah, I thought so too, but I was thinking maybe if you just put a bunch of cannons down there and took it out in the field, maybe he's just trying to take it in the dark.
I think the top right would be a much better location for GF to take a 4th base. It's a lot closer to his main base. Cannon now all up there. I mean, you don't want to put expansions all the way across the map, because if you run across to try to defend that, then that gives the Zerg a chance to counterattack your main base with his army while your army is across the field. So
yeah,
he was just checking to make sure that expansion wasn't taken, and now Apoth is taking that expansion now that the probe's been cleared off. But JF just has a huge Zealot army moving into the natural of Apoth. Not enough Hydras there, no lurkers. He chose to go for a lot of Mutalisks, didn't have the gas to get lurkers. He's not going to be able to hold this attack. This is pretty much the end of Apoth. That's just too many Zealots for him to handle.
Yeah, running in, and also if the Psy Storm comes in and hits any of those Hydralisks, it's going to be an even worse situation. It looks like they are. Oh man, that Psy Storm catching all of the drones. Wow. Look at all that. That's just husks of what once were drones and now are just piles on the ground. Dark Templars at least able to hold off that secondary, but the Zealots running in, all sorts of Overlords dying everywhere. Yeah, this is definitely the end of Apoth. GG right there. Excellently played by JF. GG, hope you guys enjoyed it.